Are you looking for a quick 5 to 10 minute project that you can make for a gift or for yourself or just something fun that you can make and feel that you have something accomplished after 5 minutes? Seriously. If you haven't tried out a knitting machine, you won't believe how easy this is. You can make them for craft fairs, you can make them for gifts, for birthday presents, Christmas presents. Sell them on Etsy. What is this mysterious 5 minute project, you ask? Let me show you. Kitchen scrubbies. These are so quick and easy to make. You can make them out of sparkly yarn. You can make them out of cotton yarn. You can make it out of regular scrubby yarn. And you can also use, I got this at Hobby Lobby. Yarn Bee has a scrubby yarn as well. So any cotton yarn or scrubby yarn that you want to use for a kitchen scrubby, if you have some in your stash, go grab it. If not, next time you're at the yarn store, no, you can't go to Joann's anymore, but you should be able to get some at Hobby Lobby or Michael's and grab a ball of it and let's make some kitchen scrubbies. So for this project, you really only need 4 supplies. You need some scrubby yarn. It's Red Heart Scrubby. They also have Scrubby Sparkle, so if you like a little sparkle, this would be fun for the holidays, some Christmas colors. Tapestry needle, pair of scissors, and you need a 20 needle knitting machine. I am using my Addi Express today, but you could also use a Centro 22 needle as well. So grab your supplies and let's get started on this fun, quick project. If you're ready to make this project, I've got the pattern link down below on my Etsy shop. I'll give you a discount code so you can get a 10% discount if you decide to buy the pattern. But if not, you don't really need the pattern. If you don't want to buy the pattern, that's okay. But what I would ask is if you subscribe to my channel so you can get more fun knitting, crochet, and quilting projects just like this one today. So if you're ready, grab all your supplies and let's get started. Okay, the first thing that you'll need obviously is a circular knitting machine. This is my Addi Express. You could also use a 22 needle Centro, or if there's any other brand out there that has about 22 needles. Then you're going to need some sort of yarn, and I'm going to use this Red Heart Scrubby yarn. And like I showed you earlier, there's also Red Heart Sparkle Scrubby like this. Or I've also made some projects in just regular cotton yarn. I've used sugar and cream, peaches and cream. I even successfully made some in this Just Cotton, which is from the Dollar Tree. So really, you could make it in just about anything you like, but the scrubby yarn makes a really good kitchen scrubby. So if you have never used a knitting machine before, it's actually pretty simple. The first thing that we're going to do is called a long tail cast on. And what that means is you're just going to leave a long tail. You're going to put that down in the middle of your machine. I have marked my first needle with black Sharpie. I don't know if you can see that there. It makes it a lot easier to kind of follow along as you're doing all your rounds. But we're going to leave the yarn catcher thing closed. And to do a cast on, you're basically going to weave it in and out. And you want to do this loosely. You don't want to pull it tight. And I like to just have my yarn kind of on the floor and pulled from the center. Makes it a lot easier. We're just in and out, alternating hooks, just going kind of slow. I don't want it to get too tight on my cast on because sometimes it catches. Okay, so we're back to the black. There we go. So what we're going to do is once we get to that last needle, we go around it and then we put it into our thread. I'm not sure what this thing is called, but the thread catcher. And there is a little hole right here that you can put your yarn through. It gives it a little bit more tension. On this one, I typically don't do that because I want to hold my yarn really loosely. I don't want to hold it snug. That's your tension. So I'm just going to let it kind of freely flow through there. I have a row counter on mine, so I'm going to reset it to 0, and then we're going to do 30 rows. So we're just going to keep going, doing 30 rows. I'm just holding it real loosely here with my hand. Okay, we're just coming up to the 30 mark. So once I hit my black needle, or the first needle, I'm going to trim off, leave probably about 18 inches. Then open up our yarn feeder. And then after the white needle here, we're going to go ahead and make sure you close that yarn feeder back. We're going to go ahead and knit a couple of stitches. Now, these stitches here are loose, so you want to be real careful. Now we're going to do the long tail cast off. So we're going to put our needle onto our yarn here. And I usually like to do about 5 or 6 stitches. And then, so this was the last stitch that we did. We'll go through the, if you have a rounded tapestry needle, it makes it really easy because you can use that little scoop just to kind of scoop it off. On the first couple stitches, you want to be careful. You put your finger over top just so it doesn't come off, because they are, like I said, they are loose, so you don't want it to unravel. Then we're going to pull this thread through and keep doing these stitches. Pull that through. The yarn is a little weird because it's got all these little scrubby things on it, so it doesn't slide through as smooth as normal yarn. Just going to keep taking these stitches off using my tapestry needle here. We're casting off. It's a lot easier than regular knitting cast off, that's for sure. Okay. Pull that through. Couple more stitches here. Be able to finish this up. Cast needle here. Well, this one for some reason got caught, so I'm going to bring it all the way around to the beginning again so I can catch that loop. Set up. Sometimes that happens, especially with these little buggers. Okay, so now what you're going to do is stretch this all out. So you should have a thread from your cast on, or a piece of yarn. This is your cast on side, and this is your cast off side, and this is the knitted side. Okay, so once you have it stretched out, then what we're going to do, this is the knit side. This would normally be the right side of the project. So we're going to turn it inside out, actually, so we have the purl side on the outside. This is going to give you a little bit more scrubbiness. You could keep it this way if you wanted, but I like the looks of it on inside out. So turn it inside out, and you'll have to bring that thread to the other side there. So this is the purl side. Then what we're going to do is cinch both sides together. So cinch this down. This is our cast off side. Then I'm going to take my needle off of this side and feed the cast on yarn up through the middle of where I just tightened that up. Bring that through the center hole there. Tighten that back down. Then we're going to tighten the cast on side. You want to get that nice and tight. But you don't want to pull too tight because this yarn tends to break fairly easily if you pull too tight on it. Okay, so I've got both sides cinched in. If you've ever made a beanie, a double-sided beanie, it's kind of the same thing. So this is like a little mini beanie where you've got both threads up the center there. both pieces of yarn, or both tail ends. So now that we've got that both sides cinched in, now we're just going to tie like probably a triple knot here. So let's tie it a couple of times and get it snug down. Like again, don't pull too tight. Ask me how I know that. Just give it a couple of tugs, tighten it up. Then both sides should be together, and we're going to flatten it out kind of in a round. So there you are. There's your kitchen scrubby. Now all I need to do is take these ends here, these tail ends, and I'm going to put both of them on my needle here. And then all you have to do is feed it through the center, because this is double layered. So if you feed it in the middle, bring it out one edge, trim those off, stretch it back out. There you have your nice little round kitchen scrubby. Now this is 30 rounds. If this is too big for you, you could always drop it down to 25 rounds. It would make it just a little bit smaller circle, but I think this is the perfect size. It fits in your hand. You can scrub dishes. So there you are, your nice round kitchen scrubby, made in about 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks so much for watching this video today. We made a nice little kitchen scrubby. If you enjoyed this project, share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment down below, and tell me how many of these bad boys you made, because once you make one, you want to make a whole bunch of them, just like Lay's potato chips. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.